Hey guys, Tim here. Today we're going to have a look at the good old Atari 2600, or also known as the Atari VCS or Video Computer System. Released in 1977, it was a spectacle to behold with all its wood-grainy awesomeness. It's actually one of the first systems to have interchangeable carts. Not exactly the first, there are a few others, but it's one of the most notable. Joysticks were nice and easy, single joystick, one button, paddle controllers for games like Breakout and Tennis. These days with all the controllers you get about 6 trillion different buttons and it kind of gets confusing. At least the old days I did it okay. Kind of. Later on, the Atari 2600 Vader model was released, which is an all-black model, hence the name Vader. This is pretty much the same thing, a little bit cheaper to manufacture, a couple less switches, but it all did exactly the same thing as the original did, just a little bit better. On the back here you've got all the controller ports, difficulty switches. One thing you can note as I'm demonstrating with the Atari 2600 Junior here, you can use an old Sega controller as well if your joysticks die, which is a good thing.
One of the coolest things about the Atari is they're still actually developing games for it via a homebrew community. One of the most notable ones was a rendition of Halo. How that works, I'm not too sure. We'll check it out in a sec, but that on this does not compute. Now, for all you guys that actually haven't played Atari and are used to your Xbox 360s and PlayStations, look, the graphics aren't that fantastic. In those days you had to use a lot of imagination. These were one of the first pioneering home consoles, so the graphics were made up of, I remember the days of pixels, very big pixels, and very few of them. We'll take a look at some of the games and you'll see, especially bowling and things like that, you really have to use your imagination, but back in the day it was fantastic. The game's mainly comprised of like a score challenge, where the highest score wins. That was the big thing in the early days. There were some games like I think Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, or Venture actually. It was more of a story-based thing we could actually complete as opposed to getting a high score. The games on Atari are very short, usually, very addictive. I guess you can kind of relate them to Modern Warfare 3. That's a bad joke. But if you wanted to get an Atari, recommend doing so. It's a great entrance into some of the earlier styles of gaming, and it's really good fun. You can play combat with your friends, 2 players. As I said, just go past the graphics, go past the sound, and it's all about gameplay. So a good place to pick these up obviously is your usual places like eBay. Probably what you want to pay for one of these things. Here's a bit of a price tip. Look, it varies. You can pick some of them up for $20, but sometimes they tend to. The wood grain ones with the 6, or the heavy 6s, they can go anywhere up to $200 upwards. But look, for one of the Atari 2600 Juniors, with a couple of days, you can probably pick up for about $30–40 and start your collection and at least get you going and get a bit of fun with it. So, as the catchphrase goes back in the 70s, have you played Atari today? I have. Awesome. I'll catch you next time, guys, and hope to see you soon.